Hello, everybody. Welcome. Good evening. Welcome to our Facebook Live. I don't have any music playing. Oh, man. Ty, we forgot the music. Ty's making music over there, dropping stuff. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Charles. Oh, thank you for the compliment, Charles. I appreciate that. I am a beautiful woman. Yes, we're all. African ancestry family is full of beautiful women. I'm Gina Paige. I'm the president and co-founder of AfricanAncestry.com. I'd like to welcome you all. Thank you for checking in. Oh, Inherit, you're back. Good to see you. Miranda, Kwame, Adama. Hello, Angela. How are you doing tonight? Jeanette, hello. I don't know where you all live, but here in DC, we just heard the biggest bang of thunder I think I've heard. Like, it was louder than the fireworks. So I don't know what it's doing out there. This weather is nuts. I don't know about where you all live, but this weather is absolutely crazy. Welcome, everybody. I'm Gina Paige. I'm the president and co-founder of AfricanAncestry.com. Vanessa, welcome. Good to see you. I know you follow us sometimes on Facebook Live. Thank you for being here. It's Wednesday, September 26th, and I have so many things to share with you all this weekend. From this weekend. If you were with us last week, you had the good fortune to be able to hear from Tony Browder. My father's checking in. Hello, Padre. Tony Browder, who's a renowned chematologist, he and his daughter Atlantis are the only people of African descent leading excavation in Egypt. And so he talked all about the Asa Restoration Project, and he kicked a lot of other knowledge. Whenever you have Tony, he can talk about so many different things. And so it was an honor and a pleasure to have him. And he was here because we went to Chicago on Saturday for a fundraiser for the Asa Restoration Project. And there were so many of you all that came out. The African Ancestry family was in full effect. I saw people from 2005, 2006, 2010. Hey, Brandy. Hey, Jeanette. The African Ancestry family was in full effect. And I want to thank you if you were able to come out and join us in Chicago. It was very informative, extremely informative. There's this brother who is a soul singer here in DC, Kaba, and he was singing just to me. I didn't know that Tony brought him all the way from DC to Chicago to sing to me, but he did. He was wonderful. Hey, Princess. So we had a good time, but the highlight of the evening for me was I got to welcome 2 new African Ancestry family members into the family. So Saban Ali came to find out his paternal results, and Tina Jackson and her daughter Tiara were there to find out their maternal results. And so Saban is a new member of the family. Well, actually, he had taken the MatriClan test, so he wasn't a new member of the family, but all of his paternal relatives now know that they share ancestry with the Akele people living in Gabon today. So when you all see him in the online community, give him a shout out. And Tina and her daughter, they were my cousins. We traced them to the Fulani people in Nigeria. And that was exciting because Tiara just kind of came, I think, because her mom told her to come. She didn't really know that what it was about or that the results would be relevant for her too. And so I think she was pleasantly informed when she found out her ancestry. So that was a good time. I want to thank both of them for coming out because, you know, this is very personal information that people receive when they find out where they're from, even though it's not just for them, it's for the whole family. And we're going to talk about that. I have a makeshift art lesson for you guys in a few minutes. So it takes being open and some degree of vulnerability to find out this information in a auditorium full of people. And so I want to thank them again for joining us. And then we're coming to Atlanta with the ASA Restoration Project on October 13th. So if any of you all who are watching, hopefully you'll come out and join us. We'll be posting information on our Instagram and on Facebook about that event. But I welcome you to come out. I'm telling you, you will learn so much about Egypt, about our Kemet, about Kemet, our history in Kemet, and about African ancestry. So please come through, look for those details later. Every week we try to celebrate an African country that has gotten its independence that week. And so this week we're celebrating Botswana on September 30th. Botswana, which is in southeastern part of the continent, will be celebrating its independence. And did you all know this about Botswana? So the revenue from their diamond sales pays for the primary education of every child in the country up until the age 13. That's deep, right? So when you buy diamonds from Botswana, the profits are going to a very good cause. Tanya says she'll be getting a test soon. All right, Tanya, we'll be looking forward to that. Where do you live, Tanya? Let us know. Maybe we'll be in your city and can give you a reveal. And then the other thing Ty wanted me to tell you about Botswana is that they produce $3.2 billion with a B, $billion worth of diamonds from their, I guess this is their largest mine, the Orapa mine. So we don't find results from Botswana, which probably shouldn't be a surprise to you all because it's not West Africa, and the majority of our results come from West Africa, but it's a beautiful place to visit. And certainly we are celebrating the entire continent, not just the West side. Okay, so we're going to try something different. You guys got to bear with me. So at about 6:30, I came up with this bright idea, and Ty, my Uber Facebook producer, she didn't really roll her eyes on the outside, but I know she was rolling her eyes on the inside because, see, she has all this stuff that she wants me to go through. And I was like, I think I'm going to do something different. But we keep getting a lot of questions. There's some misinformation, or not even misinformation, it's just a lack of understanding about lineages and family and this whole DNA thing. So at the last minute, I decided to walk you all through what do you call it? What do you call that? Like a show and tell, because it's real basic. Okay, so hopefully you all can see this. Okay, we each have, this is you, whether you're a man or a woman, this is you. We each have two parents. So that's two lineages that make up who you are. So if you think of a lineage as a branch of the family tree, you have two lineages, your mother and father. Then it goes, okay, we should have practiced. Okay. If you go back another generation, there are four people who make up who you are. So you have two parents and you have four grandparents. So that's four lineages, four branches of the family tree that make up who you are. Okay. This may seem elementary, but people don't get this. All right. So now that's four lineages just at your grandparent level that make up who you are. So now if we go back one more generation, there are 8 people who make up who you are. You have 8 great grandparents. So that's 8 lineages, 8 branches of the family tree. Each one of them is different. There are 8 independent lineages that make up who you are. Now, if we keep going back generation, we go back 10 generations, this sheet is going to have over 1,000 branches of your family tree. We have DNA from all those people. And that's because we each inherit 50% of our DNA from our mother and 50% from our father. So if your mother's yellow and your father's blue, then what color are you going to be? Any answers? If your mother's yellow and your father's blue, what color are you going to be? Don't all rush to answer at once. You're going to be green. because half came from the yellow and half came from the blue. That makes green. So we're all green, men and women. All right. We're green, but we all have a little bit of yellow. There's a little bit of yellow that we inherited from our mother that didn't mix with the blue from our father. It stayed yellow. That's called mitochondrial DNA. It's maternally inherited DNA. Mothers pass it to their children. So, if this is you, get it together. It's crooked. If it's you, okay, let me try it like this. Okay, this is you. You're green, but you have a little yellow dot. If you're a woman, you have a little yellow dot. If you're a man, you're green, but you have a little yellow dot, a little bit of DNA. That DNA is the same for you and your brothers and sisters because you got it from your mother. And she and her brothers and sisters got it from your grandmother. And they got it from your great-grandmother. And so on, going back for generations. The yellow doesn't change. The green is all mixed together, but the yellow is specific to the women on this line. So whether you're a woman or a man, you have the same yellow dot, the same mitochondrial DNA as your mother's people. Okay? Has nothing to do with any of the rest of these people. But we can tell you something about this line because the yellow dot doesn't change. It doesn't get mixed up. All right? So, when you take an African ancestry MatriClan test, it looks at one branch of your family tree, mother to mother to mother to mother, going back 500 to 2,000 years. And the results you get are the same for everybody in this family. If you're just joining me, this is a bootleg, what did I call it? Show and tell. Everybody. So if this is me, all of my children have my yellow dot. So the results are going to be the same. If these are my brothers, their children don't have the same yellow dot, but it's still their dad. So my brother's kids still have the same ancestry through him. My mother and her brothers and sisters all have the same yellow dot, their kids. My grandmother, her brothers and sisters, cousins, nephews, nieces. Do you all get it here? Do you see what I'm saying? There are at least, just on this page, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people who share the same yellow dot. So when you get a MatriClan test, those results aren't just for you. They're for everybody in the family on this branch of the tree. So we'll talk about this being a family project in just a minute. Okay, so that's the yellow dot. Hopefully you all are with me. I'm having fun with my my makeshift show and tell. For some reason, I can't remember. Okay, so now, the brothers who are watching, you all have a yellow dot, but you also have a blue dot. You got a little bit of DNA out of all the green. There's a little bit from your father that didn't turn blue. That didn't turn green. It stayed blue. And that's your Y chromosome. Only men have Y chromosomes. Ladies, we don't have Y chromosomes. This has the gene for not asking for directions. So we don't have this one. It's what makes men men. That's why we love them. So they have it. We don't. So when we want to find out something, and the Y chromosome is paternally inherited. So that means that the men, my brothers, am I doing this right? Okay. My brothers have a yellow dot, but they also have a blue dot. I don't have it. They got it from my father, who got it from his father, who got it from his father, and his father, going back for generations, that Y chromosome doesn't change. And so if I want to find out something about the Y, about the paternal branch of my tree, just one branch, father to father to father to father, then we need the Y chromosome. And that's the PatriClan test. So a man in the family can take the PatriClan test and find out about that one branch of the tree. The MatriClan test tells you about all the yellow on one branch of the tree. The PatriClan test tells you about all the blue on one branch of the tree. It's not telling us about this green. We still have DNA from all the rest of these people, but it got mixed up. And so we don't know what came from who. But these two, the yellow and the blue, the mitochondrial and the Y chromosome, they didn't mix. They stayed the same. And so we can get very specific with those. And so the other tests on the market, they don't really deal with the yellow or the blue. They deal in the green. So they're giving you a mixture. They're giving you an analysis of all the DNA that you've inherited from all the branches of your family tree. And they're saying it's some percentage this, some percentage from this place, some percentage from that place. But they can't tell you specifically from where because it's all mixed up. We can tell you this line is Fulani, like we told Tina and her daughter, or this line is Akele, like we told Saban, because it didn't mix. All right, so hopefully this show and tell was good for you to understand the differences and what you get when you take an African ancestry MatriClan test, or if you take an African ancestry PatriClan test. We can't tell you everything. We're not trying to tell you everything. We're trying to tell you something specific about one branch. If you want to know your health information, then you got to look at the mixture. We don't do that. If you want to find your 6th and 7th cousins, you got to look at the mixture. And we don't do that. So we can't tell you that. But if you want to know the people and the place, then you got to look at the yellow or the blue, and that's what we do. And so keep in mind, again, that it's not just for you. So when you look, I should say this too. Let me go back real quick. When you look at the green, the only people who share your green are your brothers and your sisters, if you have the same parents. But this green doesn't include your mother or her mother or her father. Her mother. They can't tell you. They don't have DNA from all of these people in the green. The people on your father's side of the family, they don't have DNA from all the people in the green. So those other tests are good just for you and your siblings that you share both parents with. Thank you, Nicole. Yeah, give me yellow. You got it, sister. You got it. Oh, the stream keeps interrupting. I'm sorry, Jeanette. That might be the weather because, like I said, it's the Big Bang out there. So anyway, that's just a brief, and we'll come back every week and help you break down some of the information, just so because there's so much that we don't know. And unfortunately, on a daily basis, we get calls from people and emails from people that are accusatory when it's really just based in not knowing. And we're happy to explain. And then you have all the information so that you can make an educated decision about what you want to do. Now, did you all know that next year is the 400th commemoration of the transatlantic slave trade? 400 years ago was 1619. That was the start of the transatlantic slave trade. And so the current administration actually passed an act. They passed it earlier in the year. It's called the 400 Years of American History Commission Act. And so they've created a commission that no one has seen who's on the commission yet to create a series of events throughout the year of 2019 to commemorate the 400th anniversary, I guess you would say, of the start of the slave trade. It began with the arrival of Africans in Virginia, in Point Comfort, Virginia. So if you go down to the Hampton Roads area, you can see where the first Africans landed. That's a good analogy, a soup. Yeah. They tell you your present makeup like a soup, or like Ty likes to say, like a cake. And I really like that analogy. I'm not that good with original thoughts, but I can take other people's thoughts and really blow them up. So Ty, when you call and you talk to her, she talks about our DNA being like a cake. And it's a mixture of all these different ingredients, right? Flour, sugar, butter, vanilla, all of this, right? That makes this really baking soda, baking powder, that makes a delicious cake. Well, everything gets mixed up. So you don't know where the eggs come from. You can't tell which part of the cake is the egg. You can't tell which part of the cake is the butter. You can't tell which part of the cake is the sugar. But if it's a carrot cake, you can tell which part of the cake is carrot, right? And if the carrot cake has raisins in it, you can tell which part of the cake is the raisins. Well, the carrot and the raisins are like the mitochondrial DNA and the Y chromosome, like the yellow dot and the blue dot. We can trace the carrots all the way back to the store they came from, the farm they came from, the seeds they came from, and get very specific. But if you just want to know the general, then you just eat the cake, and it's delicious, and it's good. So yeah, that is a great analogy, and I can't take credit for it, but I just spiced it up with the carrots. Okay. All right. So I wanted to give you all some ideas about how you can commemorate our 400 years of history. It goes without saying that you should take an African ancestry test, a MatriClan test or a PatriClan test, or both, and share it with your family. And the holidays are coming up. So if you took a test now, you could actually give your family the results for Christmas or Kwanzaa or Hanukkah or any other celebration that occurs, Thanksgiving even, maybe, that occurs at the end of the year. So it's a great way to get all your Christmas shopping done for everybody with just one purchase. You get a kit and everybody gets the results. So that's the first thing you could do, or one thing that you should do. Oh, Deborah, okay, this is good timing. So you got your results. What's your ancestry, Deborah? What are your maternal roots? Where are they found on the continent? Are they on the continent? You probably wouldn't have been putting all those exclamation points if they weren't African. Asar wants to know, how did you acquire the DNA to compare my DNA to? That's a great question, Asar. So my business partner, Dr. Rick Kittles, is a geneticist, and he collaborated with researchers across the continent to collect these lineages that make up the African lineage database. And if you go to our website, I think it's in the How It Works section, you can actually see which populations are included in our database. And as an aside, but it's very important, we have over 33,000 African lineages in our database. I understand that Ancestry.com recently increased the size of their database of African lineages from 464 to 1,395. So they're coming for us, I guess you could say. Oh, Deborah, Yoruba and Fulani. Well, congratulations. So you're a cuz too. I'm Fulani. Nicole says she literally waits at her mailbox every day for her results. That's funny. A lot of people do that. And we do try and make it a holistic experience. So I'm glad that you're enjoying that. And when you get your results, Nicole, you got to go into the online community, because there are some serious people in there who are a wealth of information. All right. So what else can you do? You can plan a trip to your country of ancestry. We have one in the works right now that I can talk about next year. with the Adinkra group, and we're taking an African ancestry birthright journey, an African ancestry family reunion in Ghana. And so we'll be going to Ghana, and there will be some special experiences specifically for people whose DNA has been traced to Ghana. And we're the only people that can help you do that. So we're looking forward to that. Shout out to Diallo Sumbri and the Adinkra groups. Thank you, Shavana. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Okay, Donovan. Donovan is Balanta and Mende. So Donovan, you got some resistance going on up in there with the Balanta and the Mende. You're not taking any stuff. I already know just by you telling me those results. Okay. Asar wants to know, have continental Africans taken the test? Yes, they have. We used continental Africans to validate the database. If so, have there been results that were otherwise where they currently are? There have been a couple here and there, and you know, we don't have every single lineage in our database. We don't ever say that we have. So we tell you the closest related lineages that we find that match yours. And in 85% of the cases, we find identical matches. So sometimes we found people that maybe if they were, and we find present day countries too, right? So what is Guinea-Bissau today wasn't Guinea-Bissau before colonization. And you know, the borders have even changed since then. So there may be some slight differences from what people currently are, to use your phrase. But again, you know, just like when you take our test, we ask you, where are your mother's people from? Where are your father's people from? And a lot of people don't know. Well, I don't know. My grandmother was from maybe Mississippi or Alabama. Like, they don't know. And so we call ourselves what we know to call ourselves. And so that could explain some of the differences too. Ronique took a DNA test with Ancestry.com. Yeah, well, you should take our test because we welcome you into the family, and you'll definitely get much more detailed information. Okay, so another thing you could do is participate in an immersive experience that honors the resilience of our ancestors. And if you come to DC, we got you, right? So there's the new Smithsonian, well, it's not that new anymore, but the newest Smithsonian, the Museum of African American History and Culture. Although, you know, they start our history with half a panel before slavery, and then it goes all into slavery, but that's okay. You can learn all about our history over 400 years. The Smithsonian Museum of African Art is a beautiful museum that allows you to really study and learn about both contemporary African artists as well as traditional and historical African art expressions. Oh, and then, you know, you could enjoy, what does he call it? An antebellum meal experience with food historian Michael Twitty. Michael Twitty is one of our champions, one of our African ancestry champions and good friends. And he does these meal experiences all across the country. So that's something to look into. You could take a drum class. You could take an African dance class. There are a lot of things you could do to really connect with your African roots, all different ways. You could learn an African language, Yoruba, Tree. I've seen Swahili. So those are some things you could do. You could support a cause on the continent in the country that you're from. You know, we have people who've started philanthropic organizations on the continent. I got a shout out today from Isaiah Washington, and he was one of the first people who had taken our tests. He invested in rebuilding a hospital in Sierra Leone. He started his own foundation. So there are a lot of initiatives that already exist that you could engage in and support in many different ways, with your time, with your talents, with your money, or you can start your own. Let's see. What am I missing here? Oh, Melvin took the test. Okay, so Melvin, you're going to come to Ghana with us? You should come to Ghana. Oh, Arturo's learning Creole and Mende. Wow. All right. And then Zipporah started a nonprofit. Very good. Very good. Tell us what your nonprofit is, Zipporah, so that we can highlight that and hopefully get you some more support. Let's see, what else can you do? You can learn about your genealogy. So, there's an organization that's national here in the U.S. called AAHGS, the African American Historical and Genealogical Society. They have meetings, they have a conference. They are full of amateur and professional genealogists who can help you with tools to trace your own family tree. You can go online and do it with resources, but you can also augment that digital research with paper research that you can do on your family. Ty suggesting creating a water ritual to honor the ancestors who journeyed through the Middle Passage. I'm not quite sure what you would do in a water ritual, but perhaps it could be a bath. And you could meditate while you're in the bath with some salts, some aromatherapy. So kind of not only cleansing your body and your spirit, but cleansing your mind at the same time. That's something that you could do. And you can always shoot us an email or a post, and Ty can give you some more details on a water ritual. I guess pouring libations might be another form of water ritual that you could do. And that's easy and everybody can participate in. You can't have everybody up in your bathtub, right? So libations would be another way that you could honor people through water. And then learn stories or songs that honor African traditions. Pick one, it doesn't matter. Just pick one. Start with one. There are plenty of books. Go to Mahogany Books online, mahoganybooks.com. They're our online book partner. They've got a great selection of books and children's books that would have those types of stories in them. Would the rituals take place at former slave ports? Now you're talking. Okay, Michael Twitty, what's up? What's up? Tremanisha, I hope I'm saying your name right. That would be a great place to do a water ritual. And one of the sisters earlier said that she lives in Hampton Roads. And so that might be something to explore down there, because there are a number of those ports. We're looking at, I think it's June for the Ghana trip. We'll have the details very soon, and we'll be emailing everybody who's taken our test whose results are Ghana. So you guys will get special. You all will be the invited guests, period. That's who it's open to. It's only open to African ancestry family members whose ancestries we've traced to Ghana. Michael Twitty, tell us what you're up to. We need to let people know what you're doing. Okay, Pittsburgh is having the 8th annual Taste of Africa on October 13th to support Cameroon FDP. I don't know what FDP is, but I know if they're having a Taste of Africa, it's going to be slamming, because Cameroon has some delicious food. I can tell you that. Any trips to Bioko Island? So we're talking to the Embassy of Equatorial Guinea, and hopefully we'll be able to get something together with them. We'll keep you posted on Bioko Island. Equatorial Guinea is, from everything I've learned, is a beautiful country, and it has 5 or 6 islands off the coast that make up the country, and they're just stunning. They've actually developed an ecotourism industry for those islands. So I would love to go with you all there. Michael Twitty, I'm so happy to see. We need to catch up, Michael Twitty. I need to know what's going on in your world. Okay, I was supposed to ask a trivia question and I forgot. So here we go. Remember, I said you might want to learn a language. The first person to name 5 of the 11 most spoken languages in Africa will get a journal, an African ancestry journal. We'll send you that. So 5 of the 11 most spoken languages in Africa. That's our trivia question, which I should have asked sooner, because now I don't have anything else to say. Okay, let me go back to letting you know that Christmas, Kwanzaa, the holidays, Thanksgiving are coming up. That's right. Michael Twitty is a James Beard Award winner. How about that? That's how African Ancestry Family does it. So you all need to check out the Cooking Gene. We promoted it when it first came out, and now it's in paperback. The holidays are coming up. It would be a great gift to go along with your African ancestry results. And yes, African ancestry was central to his research. And we really are honored to have Michael as part of our family. If you all flip back through some of the old Facebook Lives that are online, I went down to Williamsburg to do a Facebook Live with him. And he's no joke. He does reenactment cooking. So in these plantation environments, he I think that person. Well, oh no, almost. You're close. You're close, Ray. When he does these reenactment cookings, he uses the original kitchens with the original pots, the original tools. There's no AC. The fire is right there, and we were down there sweating up a storm, and I wasn't even cooking. Neither was he. It was just hot, but. This brother is a serious historian, serious genealogist, and serious lover of Africa and Black people. So I implore you all to support the Cooking Gene because it really is an excellent book. And he has some dope recipes in there too. So Tremonisha, she won. And Arturo won. So that's 2 journals. So you need to message us so Ty can get your name, your address, so we can send you the books. Oh my God, yeah, Michael, and the he had this old school, I'm gonna say old fashioned fly swatter. These flies and everything, they were getting us. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. And did I mention he can burn? The brother can cook. Okay. Oh, and there were some other brothers who were chefs down there who were cooking. Very pleasant on the eyes, I might add. Okay, so the 11 most spoken languages in Africa: Swahili or Kiswahili, Amharic, that's spoken in Ethiopia and Eritrea. See, I shouldn't have started because I don't know where all these are spoken. Yoruba is spoken in Nigeria. Oromo, where is that spoken, Ty? Ethiopia, Egypt. Hausa, across Nigeria, Cameroon. Igbo is Nigerian. Zulu, that's South Africa. Shona is South Africa. Arabic is North African, but also across the Muslim communities on the continent. Portuguese, really? But there are only 2 countries that still speak Portuguese. Angola and Guinea-Bissau. Okay, French. Well, we know the French. We're all up in it everywhere. Oh, you don't have English in here. English isn't one. Okay, English isn't top 11. And then Somali is the bonus one. So thank you, Arturo. Thank you for Tremonisha. Thank you all for joining us tonight. That's all I have. Oh, no, I have one more thing. Gosh, I'm not good at this. All right. So tomorrow I'll be in New York City. I'm going up to New York to do a reveal for some students at a high school in Brooklyn. And I'm going to also be on the Karen Hunter show. I hope you all listen to Karen Hunter. That sister is no joke. And she's basically built an empire on channel 126, Urban View on Sirius XM. So I would love for you all to tune in. She's on from 3 to 6. I'll be there around 5:30 or so. Karen has taken our test. Jameson, who's one of her producers, he has taken our test. We traced her to Sierra Leone and Liberia. We traced Jameson to Burkina Faso. And it'll be a great time if you want to call in. She always takes calls, questions. I'm looking forward to it. Karen is definitely part of the fam, and I'm looking forward to being up there and to welcoming, I think, 10 or 12 young people into the family. They're now going to know where they're from at this high school, and hopefully use the information as a foundation for their continued path and journey. So thank you, Vanessa. You know, this top is from a site called martinsdream.com. Martine's Dream. The sister in Brooklyn has beautiful, beautiful clothes. And I got this top from her. So thank you very much. We also have pendants. Don't forget about the pendants. We've added some. We've added Guinea-Bissau. We've added Guinea-Bissau and Sierra Leone as a combination. And we've added Nigeria and Cameroon as a combination. So we're getting more and more pendants. And you can always customize a pendant. Darnell, I think it's Darnell. He got one with 5 countries. We customized one with 5 countries for him. So these heirloom pendants are a way for you to invest and leave a legacy beyond the paper information, right? Because it's inscribed with the logo as well as engraved with your name and your ethnic group. So it's an heirloom that you can pass down to your children and their children. They come in silver, 14 karat gold, and rose gold, which are precious metals. And these metals help to activate our DNA. And so check them out. They're on our website. We'd love to have you get one. Marcus Trotter wants to know, will there be another event at the Cameroonian Embassy? And probably, Marcus. That's on our to-do list too. Oh my God, there's so much to do. I want to have you all at the Nigerian Embassy and the Sierra Leonean Embassy and the Ghanaian Embassy and the Senegalese Embassy, all the embassies. Shavana, come on. Yes, you got to get one. The Sierra Leone one is a really pretty color blue. Yes. Okay. Oh, I love to do this. Okay, Ty, you got to take the thing down so they can see, because I can't. Okay. So I don't know if you can get up. This is the best I can do. There it is. Okay, looking goofy. See, they made me look goofy. No, I'm not going to. That was my one goofy moment. I don't want to be goofy anymore. They're on our website. Okay, let me stop. All right, I've had a great day. Shout out to Lamont Rucker. We had a meeting with him today. He is definitely part of the fam. Look for us to be doing some things with him going forward. It was good to see you. I ran into Sister Vicky today. African Ancestry was in the house, downtown DC. So if you all don't forget about Atlanta, put that on your calendars. October 13th, we'll be promoting it more. But if you're there, and there are a lot of you all in Atlanta who have taken the test and who want to take the test, we'll have test kits available. So come through and just introduce yourself. I would love to meet you in person. And the president of Sierra Leone is in New York. Yeah, I think a lot of them are. The president of Ghana is there for the UN General Assembly. You would love a pendant that represents Equatorial Guinea, Bioko Island. Carolyn, we can do that. One challenge is that Bioko Island or Equatorial Guinea is so small, but we might be able to mock something up so that you can see the size that it would be, and you could decide if that's something you want to do. So maybe if you could shoot us an email, because I'll forget. And plus, I just know you're Carolyn. So shoot us an email or DM us, and we'll see how we can make that happen. Monitra, oh, I'm glad you're inspired. You know, we do this work for us. We're FUBU. We're for us, by us. We just want every Black person to know where they're from. That's why we're in business. We're not in business to make millions. We're not in business to collect DNA. We destroy the DNA. We don't use your DNA for anything other than telling you where in Africa you're from. And so I'm glad you're inspired, because we want you to do this. We want you to be excited like Donovan and like, who was the sister earlier who just got, Deborah, who just got her results. And yeah, it hits everybody differently, and it hits it's your whole family. I don't know if you have kids, but imagine if your kids could go to school and when they're talking about where are you from, they don't have to say DC, they don't have to say Alabama, they don't have to say Oklahoma. They can say Angola. They can say the Mbundu people. They can say the Mosi people of Burkina Faso. Maybe if they're taking a language in school, it's more relevant to them now to be learning French because that's the language that is spoken in the country that their ancestors come from. Even though that's not the native language, but it's still something that gives them a connection to their roots. And so I'm glad you're inspired. Please join our mailing list. If you're not on our mailing list, we're sending out specials and contests. We just had a contest in August, and we gave away 4 family packages. That means they got 2 kits. Each person got 2 kits, 4 t-shirts, and 6 certificates. So, you know, we're doing contests like that, and you'll find out about them if you're on our mailing list. So thank you, Shavonna, for being a mouthpiece, a broadcast tower for African ancestry. Okay, Mary says her 84-year-old mother is going to be taking the test. Sweet. You all should videotape it. You should record it with your phone, or maybe you have one of those fancy cameras like Ty does. Ty has one of those big fancy cameras, and then when you go to places where people have cameras, they're all like, well, my camera is a Nikon 5 SLP, and well, I have the 7. But record it, because that would be cool for posterity. All right, I'm out. It's 7. It's almost 8 o'clock. I'm hungry, and I'm sure you all too. Thank you all are also. Thank you for joining us. We'll be here next Wednesday with some more, hopefully not as rudimentary show and tell, but the point is to educate and inspire. Have a good night.